So, a little bit different. Let's talk about the big move, how I moved and why. Because if you're not aware, I've moved to the UK and specifically Glasgow. Now you're probably wondering, why Glasgow? Short answer, my girlfriend lives here. Aww. Longer answer is, I considered all the places. Obviously there's London, Bristol.
We're hospitality on the harbor in Bristol. I'm not yelling for once. You got the love. You got the love. Oh yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Manchester, the surrounding kind of smaller cities, but like London would be just like if I stayed in the States and moved to New York or like LA. Can't afford it. Bristol, I didn't really have a reason not to. It was just more like Glasgow was a choice. Girlfriend already lived here. She's got her own stuff going on. And anywhere for me on this side of the world right now is just a bit better than always trying to fly over from the States for shows and stuff, because it is expensive. But at least if I'm over here, I can get the old delayed Ryanair flight to places and, you know, hopefully see you a lot more. Also, he's here too. How's it going, man? You traveled a long distance. But yeah, ultimately I was just like, I'm tired of thinking about it. The amount of times I come over here and people are just like, oh, do you already live over here? Like, why don't you move? Why not this? Yeah, it eventually came to why not? Like, I could have stayed in the States and been just fine, sort of. I would have had to kind of, you know, like adjust my expectations and stuff, simply because like not a lot for me over where I lived in the Midwest. If I'm where more things are happening, there's a bit more opportunity. It's kind of, you know, how anyone moves to a different place. It's opportunity. Cat, where are you going? He likes it here. It's a really big window, lots of sunlight. It's great for him. I know you're probably asking, like, I'm also in my kitchen now. It's crazy. We could move around. I always could have, but I just never wanted to. Anyway, you're probably thinking like, well, what about the States? You know, you're gonna miss home. Like, what was the reason? Other than like, you know, what I said before, just genuinely kind of wanting to experience something different. That's kind of it. Like, it's always going to be home. Like, and I'm not going to be here forever as far as I know. Like, my visa is for 4 years, so I'm sticking out for at least 4 years and you will see what happens. But like, if it all fails, I'll be right back home. And if it all succeeds, I might still be back at home. But for now, home is here, you know? Man, you are really chewing. New angle. I don't know what this is, but I've never been comfortable with like a vlogging kind of thing. But since no one's in here and can see me, I'm gonna give it a shot. I've been like asked or like seen comments of like, you know, you leave us for the Brits. Like, what about the American drum and bass scene? And like to that, I ask, what drum and bass scene? Because if you're there, if you grew up in it, like, you know, I and many of other people did, then you realize there is no central American drum and bass scene. There's Chicago, there is Portland, there is LA, there is San Diego, there is San Francisco, there is Phoenix, there is Denver, there is Vegas, there's Kansas City, there's St. Louis, there's Arkansas, there's Raleigh, there's Tampa, there's New York, there's Boston, there's Detroit, there's Ohio, there's Omaha, there's Louisville, there's Dallas, there's... It's everywhere. Like, the US is a huge place. And the people who are there that I've met, like, are all supportive because they know how it is. Everyone kind of wants to do this thing of go to the motherland of drum and bass and try and make something happen. And yeah, we'll see what happens, you know? But again, home is still home. I always go back. Like, I won't forget where I came from. You know what I mean? But like, because how could I? Unless I'm like 75 and senile, then like, that's a different thing. But like, it is what it is. Like, I gotta try what I can while I can do it. It was just an opportune moment to give this whole thing a shot. It might fail, but at least I tried. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is a weird angle. Let's go somewhere else. And on that note, you probably want to know how I actually pulled like the paperwork off and all that stuff. So like I mentioned earlier, my visa is for 4 years. It's called the Global Talent Visa. Basically, it's just proving you're an active musician or an active artist, performer, something like that. You've been doing stuff. When I first looked at it, I was like, there's kind of no way I'm gonna get this. Like, I haven't done that much. But in the process of actually like putting the paperwork together, I really had to like make basically a CV that's like, here's all my performances for the last, I think it's up to 3 years. Here's like projects I've worked on, releases, things you've been commissioned for, remixes, other creative output like this channel, the teaching that I do. And when you put it all together on a nice little sheet, it's something.
You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
It looks like I've done some things, and to be honest, like it really set into perspective that like I have kind of accomplished a lot in the past couple years. And that's something I kind of have a hard time putting to words. What feels like to me goofing around, but with intention, has like amounted to something. Yeah, it's crazy. Back to it. So Global Talent Visa, basically like a CV with all my performance stuff, every show I've done for like the last 3 years, which amounted to quite a bit. It doesn't even have to be headline, big arena shows. Like, it's just where you're doing something. You know what I mean? Ultimately, all you're trying to prove is that, are you going to contribute to the UK arts culture in a significant way? A lot more, you know, caveats here and there, but if it's something you're interested in, yeah, I can talk you through it. Yeah, scene change. Hey, I'm still here, but I'm just gonna give you the view of the cat. He's over there in his tree. Like, yeah, stare at him. I'll talk about how he got here. My man traveled 4,500 miles by himself, by the way, like, because it's a whole complicated thing in the UK. You can't bring pets in the cabin of the plane. They have to fly under and be handled by specific, like, third-party carriers, like, basically not you. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's loads of paperwork. But basically, this man was the almost just as expensive getting him here as it was getting me here. Yeah, someone must love you. And that's me, I guess. And you're probably asking, why did you pay for this little scrungly cat to travel the world with you? Because I wouldn't be the same person. I just wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't feel good. Like, there's nobody I would want to leave him with, or that I thought I could leave him with. And I just missed the little dude. Yeah, look into the camera. I'm talking about you. Where you going now? No, come on, man. Where's he going? Where you going? Where you going? You owe me. See ya. Other than all that kind of detailed stuff, like I'm in a new place. There's sort of a plan, but I mean, it's only been a couple weeks. There's not much I could have done. But plan is basically like just, you know, full tilt. Focus on music, just creative stuff in general, kind of like, I mean, this channel, Patreon, more teaching. I don't know if I'll be back in schools just yet. Maybe some supply teaching just to have fun, have a little bit more. Because I still want to keep that up. Like, I still love teaching, whether it's like orchestra and music and stuff like that, or just like the one-to-ones, like the mentoring I've been doing. Yeah, it's just kind of focus on making this the full-time thing. Like, it's not full-time music, like as in production or DJing or YouTube or Patreon, or it's kind of all of it. Just like I am fulfilled 100% by just doing creative stuff and helping people. And if I can do both, which has kind of always been the goal, that's what I want to focus on, you know? No matter what it is, it's always going to be creative. It's always going to be music-based, usually. Yeah, that's just what I like doing, and that's what I want to focus on. So what does that mean for you, people who've been watching me since those mumbly videos back like pre-COVID and all of that? Man, that's such a long time. Be here like you've always been here. Subscribe, like, share stuff, comment on things if you feel so inclined. Some music comes out, listen to it. You don't like it, cool. You do like it, cool. You know, all the same stuff. If you want to take a step further, there's always Patreon. Join the classroom. See what I'm up to. There's all these things that have always been here, but now that I have more time to kind of delve into them, you're gonna see a lot more output. And if it comes to in real life stuff, got a lot of shows and stuff coming up. On Friday, I'll be in London playing for BC's album launch party. The next week, I'll be in Edinburgh. Next month is hospitality in Berlin. Then there's some stuff next year. And that's just so far. Like, my calendar's open. Booking email and all that stuff is down there. And yeah, like, this is the focus for as long as I can keep it going, you know? And if you wanna be a part of it, continue to be a part of it, just stick around. That's all you really gotta do. Yeah, that's enough rambling from me. Hope you enjoy your Monday. Ding the bell, subscribe, all that nonsense. And yeah, I'll see you around. One last thing. Come on, man. It's time. You wanna talk. Say something. There he goes. If this is the content you're looking for, you better subscribe. Later.